Magnus the Red, the Crimson King, the Cyclopean Sorcerer. These are just a few of the titles bestowed upon one of the most complex and tragic figures in the Warhammer 40k verse. A Primarch of the Thousand Suns Legion, Magnus was a being of immense psychic power, intellect and ambition. His story is a tapestry woven with threads of noble intentions, devastating flaws, and ultimately, catastrophic consequences that irrevocably shaped the destiny of the Imperium of Man. This deep dive will explore the intricacies of Magnus's character, his rise and fall, and the lasting impact he had on the grim darkness of the far future. Greetings all, I'm your guide, the Archivist. Today I will dive into an overview of Magnus the Red, their rise to power, and their final fate. Before we begin, please make sure to like and subscribe waypoints down below, so that more people can learn from the archives. Magnus was one of 20 Primarchs created by the Emperor of Mankind, beings designed to be ultimate generals and leaders in the Great Crusade. Like his brothers, Magnus would be scattered across the galaxy as an infant, eventually landing on the planet Prospero. This world, a haven for knowledge, learning and psychic exploration, proved to be the perfect environment for the young Primarch. From a young age, Magnus displayed extraordinary psychic abilities, far surpassing even the most gifted individuals on Prospero. He quickly mastered the esoteric arts, delving into forbidden knowledge and pushing the boundaries of psychic understanding. He built the city of Tzeentch, a gleaming metropolis dedicated to learning and the pursuit of enlightenment. Under his guidance, Prospero became a beacon of intellectual and psychic advancement, attracting scholars and psychers from across the galaxy. His physical appearance was as striking as his mental prowess. Towering above even his fellow Primarchs, Magnus possessed crimson skin, long flowing red hair, and a single incredibly powerful eye, a physical manifestation of his connection to the warp. He was a figure of immense power and presence, inspiring both awe and trepidation. When the Emperor finally rediscovered Magnus, he was impressed by the Primarch's intellect and psychic mastery. Magnus was given command of the Thousand Suns Legion, a force composed of warriors from Prospero, many of whom shared their Primarch's psychic aptitude. Under Magnus's leadership, the Thousand Suns became a highly specialized force, combining traditional military doctrine with psychic abilities. They were renowned for their strategic brilliance, their mastery of arcane knowledge, and their devastating psychic attacks. However, their reliance on psychic powers also made them objects of suspicion and fear within the wider Imperium. The dangers of the warp were well understood. Many saw the Thousand Suns as treading a dangerous path, flirting with forces beyond human comprehension. The inherent risks associated with uncontrolled psychic powers became a central point of contention within the Imperium. Some, like Leman Russ of the Space Wolves, vehemently opposed the use of sorcery, viewing it as inherently corrupting and dangerous. Others, like Magnus, argued for the responsible study and application of psychic abilities for the betterment of mankind. This debate culminated in the Council of Nikaea, a gathering of the Emperor, the Primarchs, and numerous representatives from across the Imperium. Despite Magnus's impassioned plea and demonstration of controlled psychic powers, the Emperor ultimately sided with the anti-sorcery faction, issuing the Edict of Nikaea, which forbade the use of psychic powers, with the sole exception of sanctioned librarians. Magnus, believing the edict was a grave mistake that would cripple humanity's potential, disobeyed the Emperor's decree. He continued to study the warp, driven by a desire to protect the Imperium from its dangers. This act of defiance would ultimately have devastating consequences. Driven by hubris and a desire to save the Emperor, Magnus embarked on a dangerous and ill-fated project. He learned of the Emperor's secret project on Terra, the creation of a webway portal, intended to provide humanity with a safe and efficient means of interstellar travel, free from the dangers of the warp. However, the webway project was incredibly complex and vulnerable. When Horus fell to chaos, he exploited the webway portal on Terra, unleashing demonic forces within the heart of the Imperium. Sensing the impending disaster, Magnus, in a desperate attempt to warn the Emperor, used his immense psychic power to tear through the barriers between realities, projecting his consciousness across the vast distances to reach Terra, This act, while intended to be one of salvation, proved to be catastrophic. In breaking through the psychic barriers, Magnus inadvertently shattered the Emperor's Webway project, paving the way for the demonic hordes to pour into Terra. The Emperor, believing that Magnus had intentionally broken the Edict of Nikaea and betrayed him, dispatched Leman Russ and the Space Wolves to Prospero to arrest Magnus and bring him to Terra to face judgment. However, Horus, whispering insidious lies into Russ's ear, manipulated the situation, turning a mission of arrest into one of annihilation. The Space Wolves descended upon Prospero, unleashing a brutal and devastating attack. The Thousand Suns, unprepared for such a sudden and overwhelming assault, were decimated. Tzeentch, the shining city of knowledge, was burned to the ground. In the ensuing conflict, Magnus, filled with grief and despair, made a fateful decision. Save his legion from complete annihilation, Magnus made a pact with Tzeentch, the Chaos God of Change. In exchange for the legion's survival, Magnus pledged his allegiance to Tzeentch, transforming himself into a powerful demon prince. The remaining Thousand Suns were bound to their armor, becoming mindless rubric marines, their souls forever trapped within their suits. As a demon prince of Tzeentch, Magnus commands immense power and wields terrifying sorceries. He is a master manipulator, weaving intricate schemes and subtly influencing events to further Tzeentch's grand design. He continues to seek knowledge and power, driven by an insatiable thirst for understanding. However, his motivations are now twisted by the influence of chaos. He believes he is still working towards humanity's eventual ascension, but his methods are often cruel and incomprehensible. He has become a figure of immense power and terror, a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the corrupting influence of the warp. Magnus's tragedy lies in his good intentions and his ultimate failure. He sought to protect humanity, but in his pride, his hubris, and his willingness to delve into forbidden knowledge led him down a path of destruction. He is a cautionary tale, a testament to the seductive nature of power and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. His actions continue to shape the Warhammer 40k verse, a constant reminder that even the most noble of intentions can be twisted and corrupted by the dark forces that lurk in the shadows. The details of Magnus' story are a crucial element to understanding the complex tapestry of betrayal and tragedy that defines the Horus heresy and the grim darkness of the far future. They offer a profound insight into the complexities of free will and the dangers of unchecked power, not to mention the enduring struggle between the orders of chaos and the enduring struggle between order and chaos within the human soul. He remains a pivotal figure, his legacy forever etched in the annals of the Imperium of Man, symbol of both hope and despair, knowledge and destruction. And so I have now covered the content for this video. If there's anything that has been missed, please share them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like and subscribe waypoints down below. In the grim dark of the far future, there is only war.